Hello everybody and welcome back to Minecraft, where in this video, I'll be making a glaive using command blocks. Now also, I'm now playing on 1.19.4, which means that some of my texture packs may or may not be broken, so yeah. So I'm using a modified version of Zero Texas Blades of War texture pack, and of course there will be a link to that texture pack in the description, but that texture pack adds a lot of different weapons, and it's really cool, but I only wanted the Glaive texture pack, or the Glaive texture and model, and then I also made it so that instead of it relying on the name to apply the texture, it just relied on the lore. But anyway, so in this video, I'll make this Glaive be a little bit more special than just a cooler looking sword. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to add in 2 special attacks, and then also a special way to get the Glaive. Now I just gotta say that I don't actually know if this is a Glaive or a Guando, I think it's pronounced. Like they're very similar, and I searched up the difference and I think this is a Glaive, but yeah, I'm sure someone in the comments will correct me. So the way we're going to get the Glaive is by throwing 2 sticks, 10 gold nuggets, 3 iron nuggets, 1 iron ingot, and 1 iron sword on the ground, and then you're going to get the Glaive. Now, like, it might be a little bit weird just to throw in an iron sword there, but like, a Glaive is basically just a sword on a very long stick, isn't it? The blade is affixed in a socket shaft configuration similar to a small axe head, rather than having a tang-like sword or naginata. Okay, so it's not really like a sword at all, but you know what, it's probably fine. So first I'm gonna head over here to my chair creation and copy this command block and this command block, and then I've just pasted them in, so now we're just gonna convert them. So yeah, I'll see you in a bit then. Alright, so now all of the command blocks are converted, and I had to place in just a couple more, but these are just to, like, kill off the items and stuff. So now if I throw 1 iron sword, 2 sticks, 3 iron nuggets, 10 gold nuggets, and then 1 iron ingot there, then I get the Glaive. Now I also changed the attack speed and attack damage of the Glaive, as now it's at minus 2.75 at the attack speed, and this might seem very slow, but it's not actually that slow. It's actually faster than the normal axe. But that's, like, the reason that it's minus is because, like, the attack speed is a little bit bugged when you do a /give or /item or whatever. It's bugged, basically, but yeah, and then the attack damage is because, like, the normal iron sword attack damage is 6, so then I just want to make it 7 to, you know, make it be a little bit stronger. And speaking of making it more powerful, now I want to move on to one of the 2 special attacks that I'm going to add, and that's going to be like a stab charge thing. I don't really know, but it's gonna be cool. And the way it's going to work is that when you take your Glaive in your offhand, then you're going to constantly go forwards and kind of like stab everyone you go into. Now this is going to be infinite as long as you have your Glaive in your offhand. So then, like, you can kind of just go forwards and then just kill a bunch of people, I guess. So first I'll head over here to my Necromancer creation and I'll copy this command block, and then I'll just delete most of the command so that there's just execute as and then all of this, and then I'll change Soul Lantern for Iron Sword, and then the Necrolantern tag to a Glaive tag, so then now it's only going to detect all people holding an Iron Sword with the tag of Glaive, and then I'll do positioned, and then arrow, 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 and then here maybe like 0.5, and then also if the, not the biome, if the block of tilde, tilde, tilde is air, then run, teleport, and then I'll actually go back to the start of the command and then change the at to an s again, and then I'll just do at s. So then I can do TP at S and then just tilde, 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 because I'm positioned 0.5 blocks in front of the player. So now if I take the Glaive into my offhand, then yeah, now I get teleported forwards. Okay, that's good. Now there is one problem with this. If you look down, then you stop moving forwards, because then the block in front of you is a grass block. So I think there's a way to fix that. If I do rotated and then 0 tilde, I think that'll work. So now if I just test it out, nope, that does not work. Okay, so now I just figured it out. So the way I did it was that I took the rotated part before the positioned part, because when it's like with the position thing, then you see if you're looking down, then it goes 0.5 blocks forwards in also the y-axis, but then like after that, then it's like, no, you can't do it on the y-axis. But if you eliminate the y-axis before the positioned part, then like it goes 5 blocks forwards, but then only on the x and z axis. My point is, now if I take this Glaive into my offhand, then I go forwards. Now, yes, it doesn't really look like I'm stabbing anything, but like, You know, it's probably fine, right? It's fine. Now, I also want to make so that when you're charging, then you get the hunger effect, because right now there isn't really any cost to just traveling much faster, but, you know, with the hunger effect, then, like, you know, your stamina goes out much quicker, so then, you know, the hunger effect makes sense, I think. So then I'll just add in this command block, which just does effect give everyone who has a glaive in their offhand hunger for 1 second, amplifier of 1, and then hide particles. So now if I go into survival mode, and then I do the charge attack, then I get hungers, then my hunger drains much faster. But now I think it's finally time to make the stab attack actually deal damage, so what I've just now done is just copied all of these 3 command blocks and then just pasted them in as a chain command block. And then I'll remove the teleport command and the if block air, and then instead I'll do run and then damage, which is a new command in 1.19.4, and then everyone that hasn't got a glaive in their offhand in a distance of 0.5 blocks and then in a limit of 1 and sort nearest. Now, of course, this is executing at 0.5 blocks in front of the player, so like it's quite big of a range, and I might reduce it later, but then the damage dealt, maybe like, I don't know, 5 damage, or yeah, 6 damage, 5 damage, I don't really know. So now if I just try out the attack on these test subjects, then it says Wolf was slain by Debo37. Okay, that's good. But now I think that the charge attack is soon finished. There's just 2 more things that I want to add, and that is particles and sound effects. Yay, I love my life. Alright, so now all of the sound effects and particles for the charge attack are in, and this has taken so long, but yeah, this is then how it looks and sounds. So I'm using the crit particle at the player's feet in a 0.25 block radius at like the Z and X axis, and then at 0 speed and then count of 1. And then there's also the enchanted hit particle at these coordinates, which is kind of like where the blade of the glaive is, but like also not really, because I tried for so long to make it so that like the particle would turn with like the player's body movement and not with the head movement, but like it's just impossible, I'm pretty sure. Like, I tried so many different ways of doing it, and nothing worked. So yeah, like, now it's just where the player's looking, and sometimes it lines up with the blade, most of the times it does. But other times it's just, like, completely to the side, and it doesn't really look that good. But then it's also in a 0.2 block radius, speed of 0, and then count of 5. And then onto the sound effects, where I'm using the Blockstone Step at 0.5 volume and 0.9 pitch. Then it's also the Block Beacon Power Select at 1 volume and then 1.5 or 1.6 pitch. And that's then the first special ability finally completed, and the recording is like 4.5 hours long already. So then onto the second ability, and that's going to be kind of like a spin type move, I guess. So the way it's going to work is that when you drop the glaive, then you don't actually drop it, but instead you do like a spin move, and like full 360 spin, and then that damages like all of the enemies in that spin. So first I'll head over here to my Echo Sword creation and copy this command block and this command block. And then now if I drop the glaive, then nothing happens. Why? Oh right, converting! Alright, so now all of the commands are converted, and I also added in a couple of more commands. So now if I just drop the glaive, then the scoreboard that is just like a dummy scoreboard gets turned to 101, and then it goes back to 1, and then it will also came like a little pling sound effect there when it went back to 1 again. And then what I can now do is just make so that when the scoreboard isn't 1, then I just spin around, so that then I can make a full 360 spin, and then maybe there will also be some cooldown left, so that then it's like you do the spin, a little bit of cooldown, and then it comes this pling sound effect when you can do it again. But also there's still one problem that I need to fix, because now I can throw the glaive and it's working perfectly fine. But if I now throw it a second time, then it doesn't really work. And like the reason because of that is that now I've got a tag and I need to remove that tag, and I'm not completely sure how I'm going to do it. Hey, so remember that one time I said I didn't really know how to do it? Well, it was literally just this one command. So, yeah, that's pretty cool, I guess. So now that that's fixed, now I can get on to the actual spinning part of the spin attack. So then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to make the first 25 ticks of the Glaive spin scoreboard be the spin, and then the rest of the ticks just be a cooldown. So yeah, let's do that now.
2 hours later.
Alright, so now the spinning is complete, and I only really needed this one command block, which just executes as in at P, and then if the score of Glaive spin is more than Glaive spin stop, which is just a dummy scoreboard that I set into 101, then run TP at S, tilde, 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 15, tilde, which then makes you spin, so that in those 25 ticks, then you spin 360 degrees. But now the spinning from first person then looks like this. Now, it's pretty jittery, and I don't really like it, but there's no way, I'm pretty sure, to make it be as smooth as just when you, like, look around with your mouse. So, like, this is the best I could do, you know, like, with the correct speed and stuff, and it has to be like this if I want to have it be this fast. So, yeah, like, it's not that good, but it's okay. But now I want to make the damage system, and the way I'm going to do that is that I'm going to copy this command block, and then instead of run teleport, it's going to be positioned, and then arrow, arrow, arrow 1, or maybe like 0.5, 0.5, and then run damage, and then at S, and then the Glaive's attack damage is 7, so I guess maybe 8, and then here it's just going to be, where is it? Player attack. So now, okay, yeah, now it actually works. So, like, the range is still a little bit weird. I would like it to be a little bit more. But yeah, this is definitely working now. How about in a distance of 3 blocks? So now, yeah, that seems to hit everyone that I wanted to hit. So, like, it's not fully out there, because that wouldn't really make that much sense, but it hits everyone that I wanted to hit, I think. And now the spin attack is finally completed. There's just one more thing that I want to add, and that is particles and sound effects. Yay, I love my life. That was sarcastic if you couldn't tell. Alright, so now all of the sound effects and particles are in, so this is then how it looks and sounds. So I'm using the enchanted hit particle. Now this is the same particle as for when you're charging. So like, I kind of made the enchanted hit particle be kind of particle that comes when you're using a special ability with the Glaive. And then it's also the sweep attack particle in front of the player in a 0.75 block radius on the X and Z axis. And then a 0.25 block radius on the Y axis. And then spear 0 speed and then count of 1. And then for the sound effects, I'm using the entity attack sweep sound effect at 0.25 volume and 0.85 pitch. Also, the last sweep attack is at 0.75 volume and normal pitch, so it's more noticeable and stuff. But that's then the crafting of the Glaive, the spin attack of the Glaive, and the charge attack of the Glaive all finished. So yeah, I guess this is then going to be everything for this video. And if you liked it, then just remember there's a button for that. But yeah, this will be everything for this video, so bye!